Alright, this demo is going to show how you can run the query targeting tool multiple times and save the output as a group to run complex targeting. So let's set up a group first to store our targeted voters. So I'm going to come down here. I've already got a main group called voter targets. So I'm just going to create a new group under there called complex target. You would name it whatever you would like. It's going to be a subgroup of voter targets. And you can add whatever description you want to it. You probably want to keep a description of all the different queries that you ran, but just keep in mind that users that have access to this will be able to see that. So if that's a strategic if that's something strategic that you don't want everybody to know, then don't put that in the description. So let's just save that. And if we go back to the list now, we can see we've got an empty group here ready to store our targets. So let's go through now. Let's say the first query we're going to run here, let's say it's for a municipal election. So I'm going to run in here real quick and add a couple municipal election dates. So these are a couple City of Tampa elections. And I do have a video that goes into specifics about how to run this query. So watch that if you want to see the details. And let's just click next page here. Next page again. And we're just going to add all those voters now to our new group that we're using as our bucket to save all our targeted voters. So I'm just going to click Run Report. Now I'm going to pause the recording now because this report will take probably about a minute. Oh, actually it ran a lot quicker. So we'll click OK. We added all those voters to the group now. We're going to go back to the beginning of query targeting. And let's say that in addition to voters that voted in any one of those last two municipal elections, we also want to go after voters if they voted in both of the last two primaries. So maybe these are people that weren't registered. In fact, we could add that as a parameter. So let's just set the registration date to people that were registered on, what was that election date? I believe it was 3/6/2007. So the cutoff date would have been about 4/10, or I'm sorry, 2/10/07. Okay, so this is going to say, in addition to voters that voted in at least one of those two municipal elections, let's also go after voters that weren't registered in time for either of those elections, but since then have voted in both the standard primary elections. So we'll click next page, and that's going to give us another 1,100 voters that are probably likely to vote in the next municipal election. So let's add those to the group as well. And I may pause this because this may take a minute or so to run. Okay, actually it didn't. It came right back here. So now we've added those to the group. Now we can just keep repeating that process over and over and continuing to add voters to the group. So maybe you want to do something even more specific where in addition to voters that met those criteria, maybe we want males that are 65 or older, regardless of their vote history. Or actually we probably want them to have at least voted in the general election maybe. So we can add that. And that'll add another 4,000 voters. I'm going to skip the adding process, but you get the idea. You just repeat that over and over. So now once we're done adding all the voters into that bucket, and we actually want to output that bucket of voters, we can just go into query targeting. We'd skip the party voting history section and only narrow it down by precinct if you're doing like precinct walks or something, or if you're doing a district-wide report, you just wouldn't select anything on this page. We'd click next page. So now we've got our whole entire district of voters selected, but if we scroll down now here, we can say keep only if member of any, and we would check the radio box for our complex target group. And then when we click next page, now we've got only the 21,160 voters that met any of those different criteria that we set up. And now we can pull in a report we would like to. So I guess that completes this demonstration. Let me know if you have any questions.